going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is probably one of my favorite videos to make every week. Is just 3 or 4 tickers that could have some movement, and we just see how they do. I know some of you guys out there, you made 100% plus on Mara Riot. Made me think of a couple others. If you remember SPRT, right? They became Greenidge Generation Holdings. Another mining company, GREE. They have been running just as well as Mara and Riot. They have been severely beat down, which made me turn my attention back to them just to see if there's a play here. Maybe some of the shorts have been really beating this one down, and it's just been trending down ever since it did the spin-off or whatever it was from SPRT. So what I'm watching for is a little bit of a pullback, more than likely, depending on how crypto goes. I mean, crypto is absolutely ripping. So if the markets stay running, then looking really good. But I really like this gap. If we can get back above the 133, so rejected pretty perfect right there. If it can get back above there, I think there's a pretty quick run back to the $2 range, which would make sense in line with our fibs taking us back to 201. I really want to see if it can hold above $1. That's going to be important in my eyes as far as how confident I would be to remain in here. It's a steep climb. I think it's going to have a little bit of a pullback. You can see the RSI on the 30-minute, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour. They're all curling back down as of right now, and it's been running hot. We're at about 80 on the daily, and we are sitting where we at on the 4 hour. The 4 hour is sitting around 82. So I'm looking for a potential retracement back down to somewhere, I guess, in the 96 cents to $1. If it loses that 90-cent level, I would be gone for a while and just wait and see if it's going to consolidate or what it's going to do. So I think being patient on your entry here, somewhere around 90 cents, if you want to, if you can be patient and you think it's going to come down there, that would be your best risk to reward, and just check out if it drops below there. But if crypto keeps running, if Mara and Riot keep running, I think there might be a play here that could involve some shorts and help and buy. Also, it's a smaller float. We know a lot of these small float, small cap, low float stocks have just been exploding lately. So that's another reason I'm looking at that one. HUT 8 would be another that you could look at if you like cheaper minor stocks, if you don't want to play the big ones. GNS. So this one had a little bit of news pop out that they were looking into. They had investigators that found some sort of potential naked short selling going on in their company, driving it down. It's a relatively newer IPO, I believe, within the last 6 months or so. I don't know much about the company, but about the time that report came out, it really started turning around. So that has my attention here. What I'd be watching for, you're sitting at 47 cents right now in the close of market. So be watching how it's moving between 44.75 and 48.58. I think if there's enough eyes that got on that report, there might be a lot of retail interest that comes into this one. So you might see some FOMO, you might not. I don't know how many people saw it, but I saw it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So gonna see how that one continues to move. If that is the case and you get some shorts covering in there or whatever, and maybe they won't. Some of the time these investigations just lead to absolutely nothing, but it looks like it could be an interesting spot to try. Again, if you lose 41 cents, question being out, wouldn't stay in past 36 by any means, but it has some potential to the upside there on GNS. Apron has been interesting as well. Now, it filled a gap in up here on Apron and perfectly rejected at the gap. It's been in kind of this ascending broadening right now, And I'm going to be watching this one closely. It has my attention again because, again, it's back over $1 as of right now. It's sitting at 101 as far as market close. I'd be watching this 97-cent level. It bounced off of there. Could not set a higher high, which makes me think we might get a little bit further rejection down to, say, the 90-cent range, even possibly 83 cents. And again, it could come all the way back down to test our bottom of our wedge if it wants to, so 73 cents. So be watching somewhere in, say, the 75-cent range, the 83, the 90, and the 97-cent range. If you're looking and if you're patient for your best possible entries, draw up your trend, see how it's moving within that trend. But if it can hold over $1, that might be an opportunity that this one's going to actually break out and move to the upside and get back above this rejection that happened at that gap fill. Came in pretty perfect, so the gap is filled. No real reason for it to want to run back up unless there's just enough eyes on it that are going to hold it above $1. JAGX, I played this one last week into early this week and flipped it for a decent return. I do have a small position, just full disclosure, in this one already. I don't know what it's going to do. I'm watching this about 9-cent level pretty close, and I'm watching 8 cents very close. It's done nothing but trend downward for the longest time, but we have a nice trend going on our RSI that says it looks like there's a little bit of buying pressure coming in here. So I don't know if there's going to be a final shakeout that brings us down below this 8 cents to even a deeper dip, or if this buying pressure is going to be able to be the one that turns it around here on this trend line back to the upside. We've seen stepping in ever so slightly sooner, so I want to see if this step in is going to be the one that turns it around, pushing it back to the upside and out of this channel, out of this flag that it's been just downtrending in forever. It could not. Like I said, there might be one final shakeout, so I'd be watching, somewhere in the 6 cent to 8 cent range. If you see it drop below 8, it'd probably be a cut for me and wait and see if it comes down all the way to test this trend line again. If it holds right here around the 9 cents, then potentially we got a run back to the upside that could come in here. And I mean, it's cheap enough that, none of these, you don't get married to them. They're not diamond hands. They're just trades. Just be looking for your levels, your entries, your exits. You can chart them out pretty easy. They all have very clear taps, but I'd really like to see JAGX make a nice turnaround if it can off of here. Where would your exits be? I exited at like 14 cents bright and early, one day early this week, and then I just watched it come back down here. So this is where I'm at, just watching it. I made 4 or 5 cents, I think, off the play per share, so I'm okay with holding down to about 8 cents, and then I'll cut because I would technically still be up from my first trade. But as of right now, I really want to see it break out of this trend line, which is going to be putting us back around the, say, 11 to 12 cents. See if it breaks out, retests, and then pushes. And ultimately, I want to see it start working its way up to, say, 16 to 20 cents. A quarter would be beautiful if it wanted to get back there. So those are the 4 tickers that I'm really focusing on this week, at least adding to my watch list. We don't know which way the market's going to go. I mean, obviously, it just did an absolute terror all day on Friday. So, I mean, could there be a turnaround come Tuesday morning? Yeah, there could be. But could the market keep pumping? Yes. So if the market continues to pump, I'm going to be looking for a lot of these to the upside. If the market decides to take a cool off or a deep dive or whatever, then you're probably not going to be playing to your long positions again, and just protect your downside in those instances. So keep an eye on them, but I think there are 4 that are worth adding to the watch list. I will catch you guys in the next one. I will see you on Tuesday. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.